Welcome, everyone, to Season 5 of Three.Vegas. I am here with Tammie Roitman, our clinical and intuitive hypnotherapist. I'm here with our master astrologer, Kris, and my name is Mona. I do intuitive tarot. And what we do on this program, courtesy of the folks at WWDBTV. By the way, subscribe to WWDBTV for all the programming they do here on the station. But the way the program works is that we have a caller that zooms into the program. So you're going to see a split screen and you're going to see our caller. We've got Harmony here in just a minute. And what Harmony is going to do is she's going to ask a question. And then she's going to choose either Tammie or Kris or myself to answer the question first. Then she's going to choose the person to answer the question second. And then by default, whoever is third is just going to answer the question. So we're going to be back in just a second with Harmony.
Hi, I'm Kris, the Astro Cowgirl. You may have seen me on Three.Vegas, the mystical series featuring three intuitives, Tammie Roitman, an intuitive hypnotherapist, myself, a master astrologer, and of course our host, Mystic Mona, a tarot consultant. Each of us taps into our own modality to bring you clarity and guidance. If you'd like to experience it for yourself, you can visit www.3.vegas to book a one-on-one session to connect with us individually, or even submit to be a guest on an upcoming episode. Again, that's www.three.vegas. You can also find me at VegasAstrology.com, where I share insightful monthly forecasts. Thank you for joining us every week on WWDBTV.com for a new episode of Three.Vegas. And as always, a special thanks to John Stiles at WWDBTV for hosting our program. Many blessings, and I look forward to helping you unlock your cosmic potential.
So we would like to welcome Harmony to Three.Vegas. Hey, Harmony, welcome to the program.
Hi, thank you. I'm so excited.
Me too. We're so happy you're here, and I love that you're wearing something bright and pink. You know, here we are in the middle of spring and first episode of season 5. So we're pretty excited about it. So the way this is going to work is you're going to ask a question. All right. And then you're going to decide whether Tammie or Kris or myself answers the question first. And then after she spends about 5, 6, 7 minutes with you, then you're going to choose who answers the question next. And then by default, whoever's left over is going to answer the question third. So tell us your question.
All right. So my question today is, what do you see for my future? What should I be doing career-wise?
Oh, got it. Okay. So who would you like to have answer the question first?
I think I'd like to start with Tammie.
Yay, Tammie. All right.
Thank you for allowing me to be in service to you. Kind of what I'm picking up is, one, I can't tell you what you're going to do. You're going to have to let all the pieces fall into place for you. But what I can tell you is that to start paying more attention to every interaction that's crossing your path and every person, because they're all helping you with these stepping stones to get where you need to be. And if you don't pay specific attention, you're going to miss it. But right now, you probably have noticed you have people in your life and maybe even people leaving your life, and to realize what is the purpose of them being there? How do they help me get forward? And what is the purpose that they have been in my life?
Okay.
To understand what the exact stepping stones are going to be for you to be able to get where you're going to get. You have a very flowing energy, but I still get the sense that there are some things that need to be worked on before you take your final destination in life. And so think of this as the end of a cycle that's going to propel you more in that direction. It's just letting some things go, clearing some inner conflicts within yourself that still need to be kind of dealt with, so that you don't bring anything to the past to the future. And it's very important for you to stay focused in each day and each moment that's coming. And so what would be a good thing for you to do is to get in the habit of stopping once or twice a day no matter what's going on, and just asking yourself, what does this moment have for me? And don't answer it with the thinking mind. Let whatever comes up at first be the guide, because that's the truth. When we get into our thinking mind, we create all different things for ourselves that aren't exactly the truth.
Gotcha.
That
Okay,
makes
thank
sense?
you. That makes sense. Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Tammie, nobody can be as succinct as you are about the evilness of thinking at times.
That's right. It's I mean, it's a problem, because we think through interpretation and perception, which may not be accurate. If it would be more accurate if we were actually going through life in the truth of what it was. But we make a whole bunch of things up instead of stopping and saying, well, the truth in this situation is I'm getting upset because I'm upset at myself that I didn't stand up for myself, or I didn't put a boundary down, or I let somebody walk all over my boundary. So if we could see life more like that and live it day to day, we would be so much better off with our thinking mind, because we would be controlling the thinking mind and through the soul, not the thinking mind thinking it has a soul. So, right. And so everybody is being pushed there. So everybody is kind of being awakened to the fact that, hey, what is the situation offering me? How does it help me? Because we made the choices in all the situations and people that are crossing our path anyways. Whether we want to admit it or not, we're creating our own life. So in that, when you can see it from the truth, it makes it a whole lot easier, because things that what might have upset us before are like, well, no, I'm the one that signed up for that for my betterment. I may not completely understand it, but I'm not going to resist it, because it makes it a lot harder.
Yeah, that makes complete sense.
Wow. Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
And I'm leaving that with, the thinking mind is not your soul.
It is not your friend either.
No, it is not.
That's the thing that really stuck in my mind. Your thinking mind is not your soul. Oh my God. I'm carrying that with us for this episode, because that is probably the most profound thing you said. Ever. Okay. So Harmony, who would you like to have answer the question next?
I think I would like you, Mona, to go next.
Woohoo! Okay, so I'm gonna clear the cards real quick.
Okay.
Just one clear little shuffle, and then I'm gonna draw 5 cards. So you're gonna see me lay out the whole deck, and I want you to concentrate with me on your career.
Okay.
All right. So I'm drawing your cards. So what's really interesting is when it says that you concentrate on your career, you not only concentrate on your career to make yourself a success, but there's a man you draw to you that's going to be incredibly important to you. So that's sort of a bonus part of this question for you. So the very first card here is, you can't see the keyword on it, but it's called schizophrenia. All right. It means deciding that you're not going to be distracted by other people's needs or emergencies. You're literally going to stay in your lane and concentrate on what you want. So when this card comes up reversed, it means releasing burdens of things that shouldn't be yours in the first place. The next card is an incredibly powerful card. So people see this card and they go, oh my God, it's black. Well, that's not what it means. So are you old enough to remember the old Polaroid cameras?
Yes.
Okay, so if you took a picture with a Polaroid camera of an elephant from an inch away and the film developed, it's going to be like this card. You basically wasted film. So, but what's interesting here is this talks about you putting yourself in a 5-year discipline plan. So it means that the picture is too big to be captured in the frame of a picture. So you're on a 5-year plan right now where the next 5 years is all about you focusing on your career. And I actually think that your career is collaborative, and it's like the thing that jumps in my head right away is almost like an internet matchmaker, but not in the cheesy way that they do it on the dating sites now, but it's almost as if you become the love matchmaker or the spiritual matchmaker, or that you meet a lot of people and you talk to a lot of people and you engage a lot of people. But I wonder if within the next few years you create interactions that are all about singles meeting each other that are actually qualified to meet each other. So I'm just going to give you an example. Let's say you decided to go to one of the bingo parlors in your area, right? And you said, I want to do a single bingo event. I want to do something where people are coming in, they're buying their bingo card, but they're single, and that they're within a certain age group. Now, I think you can get away with it if you do certain age groups where there's a boomer bingo, there's an X bingo, there's a Y bingo. Do you see where I'm going with this?
Sure, yeah.
But that you do it all on one Saturday. That is single bingo with, basically certain age groups, right?
Yeah.
Because you want people to sing along to the music. So for the boomer, you could play the Beatles, you could play the Stones, you could play the Doors, you could play all of that. But you would have a DJ or even yourself that would conduct it. But that may not be the example. But what I'm getting here is that you're supposed to find your spotlight by helping other people. I mean, that's really what that says. And the way to do that is participating with what you already know you do well, which is this card in the middle, which I absolutely adore. Then here's the bonus card. So this card here, right here, called Abundance, is a dark-haired, dark-eyed man that is already successful in his life in some way. But I really, really love this man. I'm not sure if this is going to be a business partner that you end up meeting, or if this is going to be a romantic partner because of business. All right. And so one of the things that is interesting about your cards is that you have this fearlessness about you, that you have no problem trying something and making a mistake even. And I don't want you to ever lose the fact that you're willing to be that fearless, because it will be through some of the things that you make that don't work that create for you what does work. But your cards are incredibly positive, and it's talking about staying very disciplined and focused about what you want in the next 5 years. So now I'm going to ask you a question.
Yeah.
What is the thing you do for fun?
For fun, I write music.
Okay.
And sing, perform.
So when I get this vibration of you being in the spotlight, one of the things I wonder is that, let's say, and again, I'm going with this matchmaking thing for just a second. Let's just say you do single bingo, right?
Yeah.
But you're singing all the songs or some of the songs that are of the era of each of the age groups.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's so fun.
Right. But what's so cool about that is that, you're super easy on the eyes. It's like you're lovely to look at. And
Thank you.
You command attention when you walk into a room. You already know this, that you've done this since you were a little girl, right?
Yeah.
And you know how to work it. All right. And I love that you know how to work it. Okay. What I'm getting here is there's some sort of extra thing you do that your singing is highlighted in the thing that you do. All right.
Okay.
Like you could do stand-up comedy where you're singing some of the jokes. Do you see where I'm going with that?
Yeah, definitely.
There is some sort of shift you're going to do that people are going to go, oh my goodness, she's a great singer, but she's fun as crap too. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
So what I love about you is your energy attracts men and women. And I don't mean that in a sexy way, unless you put on the sexy energy. But men and women are both attracted to you. So you could do almost anything where talking to somebody commands their attention, because there's just something so open and energetic about you. And of course, then you're named Harmony, which is also,
my parents know.
Well, here's what's interesting is that while Kris is actually looking at your chart, I'm going to look up this card in my deck that's called Harmony. So hold on, Tammie wants to say something.
Can you pull over the sixth card from the right? Also, do you want to do like singing stand-up comedy? Is that something you're interested in?
Not stand-up comedy. I do find myself very funny, honestly, but singing, yes. Performing, I do that for a living right now. I'm a songwriter.
Are you in Las Vegas?
I'm based in Las Vegas, yes.
Oh, you should let us know when you're singing.
Yeah,
I
we'll
always
show
like
up.
to do-
I will.
Yeah.
I have a lot of shows there in residencies for sure.
Woohoo. Okay, so the 6th card is a card called Moment to Moment, which means coincidence is her best friend.
Yeah, that's. Mhm.
Okay, I have a really,
Anyways.
again, really funny suggestion for you. And again, I'm going with this. Could you write a comedy song? And again, it would be all the bad things you could call a woman. All right. But it would be a comedy song about that, where you might not actually say the word, you say a word that rhymes with it. All right. So, but you might call the song the twat song.
I love it.
Okay. But you want to do it in such a way, because you know, back in the, and again, I'm aging myself, but back in the 70s and 80s, they used to do a lot of parody songs. Like they used to do a song,
Cream.
right?
You
Like
know that song?
right. They also did a song called My Ding-a-Ling.
Yeah.
They did. So
Oh,
they
I
would-
know that song. Yes.
Okay, so if you did a ditty that was funny, but was all the negative names that women are called, right? Because you could do the Karen song, but I like the twat song.
I think it's hilarious.
because you can make it rhyme, but then not use the word. So you it's like I can see you singing it along, and you're about to call someone the B word, but then you change it to witch.
Yeah.
Right? So, but what happens is that it's like what was the guy that sang the song that actually used the F word in it? It was like 5-6 years ago.
I only know shaving cream that was done in the 50s.
Yeah.
And then put on the Dr. Dementia show.
Yeah, Ceylon Green. Yeah. What was the name of the song?
Oh, see you ride around town with the girl I love, and no more.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah.
F you. Yeah, okay, but
Yes.
I actually think if you did the twat song, I think it would be picked up virally, and then you would get a lot of attention. And then you do a version of a song about guys. Same thing, right?
I like it.
You call it the dick song?
Well, no. But for example, there's a guy I really like. There's a guy that has a truck. There's a guy that really is cool. This is a guy I'd like to. His name's Chuck. I mean,
Yeah.
You see what I mean? It's like
I gotcha.
Boy, that just right there, man, right there.
Man,
So-
you did that quick.
No. But see,
He's a songwriter.
you could actually sing it. That's what makes that so much
Yeah.
fun. So if you actually did a stand-up comedy ditty, right, where you
Yeah.
had 3 little ditty songs, because usually if you're doing stand-up comedy and you're just kind of breaking into it, you only get like 5 to 10 minutes, right?
Right.
So I know they're doing there's some sort of comedy thing they're doing on April 12th. You got to look it up. I saw it on Instagram, but here's the thing is that we have to do something for you that you don't fit into a mold with anybody else. So that's the big vibe that I'm getting. So, all right, my friend, I'm going to turn this over to
Thank you.
Kris. Okay.
Thank you so much.
My
Have
pleasure.
you ever heard of Roger Bear, Behr?
I haven't. No.
You could look him up because he did that. He was a comedian, but he was
Okay.
also a singer, musician. And
Roger Bear. Okay.
he's not alive anymore. He was a really good friend of mine. But that's what he kind of did. Is he didn't want to be like everybody else, and he actually was the voice for Mac Tonight for the McDonald's commercials.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Wow.
Very cool. All right, Kris, all about you, baby.
Okay. You are a Sun Leo, but your rising sign is Capricorn. Are you familiar with what your rising sign means? Yeah. Okay.
I'm not super familiar with the Capricorn, but the Virgo and the Leo, yes.
Okay. So your rising sign, it's more if you were to read the traits of the Capricorn, you're going to resonate. Also, if you were to read the forecast for Capricorn, that's really going to resonate too, because your rising sign is based upon your exact time of birth, your date of birth, and then the exact location. So it's highly specific to you. So there's so much to go over in your chart. You have a very strong chart. So the first thing I want to touch on is We are in the series eclipses of Leo and Aquarius. So a lot of Leos and Aquarius, but more so Leos, are starting to feel this shift. And it started about last year, and it's going to continue for the next year and a half. And where that falls in your specific natal chart is, this is actually a really pivotal time in your life. And it's closely connected to what Tammie was saying, relationships. So for you specifically, it's a couple different things that has to do with relationships, identity, and power, like power struggles. So as you move through the next year and a half, you're going to be examining your relationships. And that's romantic, friendships, platonic, professional relationships. You're going to be evaluating them, and you're going to be measuring kind of the give and take. Are you getting back what you're putting in? And you may decide to sever some relationships. You may decide to put more effort into other ones and focus on ones. Usually this is a time when your circle of your people tends to get kind of smaller, but it's more quality people. And so the big part about this transit is for you to basically focus on the people that match your energy, match your effort, that you're in alignment, and they serve your highest good. And move away from the people that are more of the takers from your energy, from your resources, from your time. And they don't necessarily give anything back. So it's a very intentional time for you. The other part that's really specific to you because of where these series of eclipses land in your chart is it also talks about money and power. And I don't mean power like you're like power hungry. I mean, you might actually experience people wanting to dominate you or control you. So you might encounter power struggles where maybe you typically don't. Over the course of the next year and a half, you might encounter situations where you feel people are maybe trying to assert their dominance over you, or they want you to do certain things, and you're going to put your foot down, which actually I have no like concern over you being able to assert yourself. And I'm going to go into that because not only are you the Capricorn rising, but you have this placement in your chart, and it's connected to what Mona was saying, how you're fearless. You literally are fearless. You have a lot of courage, and you get it from two fire signs. So you have it from Leo, which is a fire sign. So you have a lot of fire energy, just your core. But you also have your action planet placed in your first house of self. And that's actually the house in your chart that rules that action planet. So you are a doer. You're someone who you put your mind to something, you accomplish it. No one can, I don't want to say bulldoze, because you have a very nice way of doing what you want and getting what you want done, but you don't let people get in your way or kind of deter you. And so it's definitely a gift. Like you're a doer. Also, I want to touch on your career specifically because she said that, but in your natal chart, you have a very unique placement for your career. And it talks about you being able to reinvent yourself over and over and over again. And it's actually not only in your career. So you could have a very successful career, and then you end that cycle, and then you start something completely new. And so it's like you're constantly able to just completely transform your career over and over and over again. So, most people have like maybe one or two careers their lifetime. You could have numerous, and they're all successful. They're all successful because you're a rising Capricorn. So they're very career ambitious. They're very goal oriented. And then you also have the extra power from all the fire in your chart that gives you the oomph and the vitality to carry it through. And so the other thing too with that is I am going to warn you, there's a bit of a caution here. When you have that Saturn placement, which is your Capricorn, it's ruled by Saturn, you're capable of carrying a lot of duty and responsibility and burden. But the downside of that is because you do it so effortlessly that other people don't recognize the burden that you're carrying. And sometimes you might even unconsciously or like kind of like unknowingly, subconsciously carry on other people's burden. So you got to let them fend for yourself. And because a lot of people turn to you for like you're their rock. You probably keep a lot of records too. I see this all the time with like Capricorn rising. They keep everything, and everything they own is in receipts, records. They're just very organized, and so people depend on you. You probably like, oh yeah, I have your birth certificate here. I followed it away, But you're very reliable and dutiful, but also sometimes you enable other people to not be responsible, and you end up taking on burdens and responsibilities that are not yours. So I want to caution you. And actually, I feel like very strongly over the next year and a half, you're going to start seeing more instances of where you've unknowingly taken on other people's burdens. And so that's a big part of this transit, is being able to like recognize that and then putting steps in place. And then I also want to touch on two other things. So serving others. So you have your wounded healer placement, which is where you find your healing. You actually have it in the 6th house of work and service. So through serving others, you actually heal yourself. So that could be philanthropy. It doesn't have to necessarily be your career. It could be something that you just do on the side, but it's in any capacity that you serve others, like just selflessly, you're going to find so much healing, and it's wherever you feel like you need that healing. And sometimes you don't even really know where you need that healing. You don't even know until you serve, and then you're like, I didn't realize I needed that. So, and then as far as your career, I actually picked up something with entertainment, and which we know now that you're in entertainment, but I picked that up before. Specifically, you have you have this placement, and I see it in every single musician's placement. They have from the time they are born, they have this natural inclination to music. So anything involved with music, so rhythm, like just naturally, like you've probably learned how to read music like very quickly. Like they just naturally gravitate to it, and it's just a natural born talent. But also, so entertainment, but specifically related to music or maybe even dancing. And then I also, 2 other things, because I know I got to wrap up. So 2 other things. I'm picking up either the flower daisy or the name Daisy. Does Daisy in any capacity resonate with you?
No, but now I'm interested if I come across one.
Okay, maybe that's your sign. Maybe if you're thinking about something, and you happen to see a daisy or hear the name Daisy, take note of what you're thinking about at that moment, because our angels are sending you that something with a daisy. So it could be the name or the flower. And then I also want to talk about your for the next 6 months to a year, you're coming into a time where you're going to be attracting opportunities to partner with other people, romantically and professionally. And so it's very lucky. And I love that moment to moment card where it's like just kind of coincidences happen to you. Like you're coming into this transit. Actually, you have already been in it for about 6 months, but it's going to continue for about the next year, where you're going to attract opportunities to align with people. And I also feel like there is a romantic connection coming in for you too. So it's either a renewed one or maybe a new one, but you have luck with you find love and luck with anything connected to foreign countries or even foreigners, just by the way.
Oh, I love that. Oh, I love that.
Okay, so John's gonna zoom down on my card for a second, because this is the card that's called Harmony, and I don't know I don't know. It's honey. I'm going to go to my regular camera and hold it up this way because it's a little clearer. So as soon as John, there we go. I don't know if you could see it. I'll send you a picture of it. But it's called Harmony. And the interesting thing about what both Tammie and Kris have said is that you're in a place right now where it's about you making you a priority and not making everybody else a priority. So that's probably why in my reading for you, the schizophrenia card came up like that, because it came up reversed. It means that you're not supposed to be distracted by other people's stuff or emergencies. You're actually supposed to concentrate on what's important to you right now. And that the way you honor your soul, in my opinion, is living up to why you were born here. And so you came into this lifetime with these natural talents. People, one of your superpowers is people like you the minute they meet you. I mean, because what I love about you with the Leo and the Capricorn is that you'll trust people till you can't. Yeah. So it's a beautiful combination. But the Capricorn part, as soon as you can't trust somebody, you'll never trust them again. So, but you're open, right? I'm open to what you have to say until I'm not, kind of thing. Yes, so, all right. Any other questions for us?
No, you guys are so insightful, so amazing. I have loved the whole experience. Thank you guys so much.
Well, thank you for being our first guest on the program. Tammie has one more thing to say to you.
Yeah.
Since Kris brought it up about you kind of wanting to be the nurturer for others. And so I got that. But sometimes I'm told I can't give it because the idea is to guide somebody to recognize it. And that's why I said, you know, stop and look at the people that are around you because of the internal work you're going to do, because you can't bring it forward. That's going to be the important part of what does it have to offer me internally, you know, because there's nothing outside of ourselves. It only is the illusion that it is, right? So every situation that you encounter that is to inspire your music, but it is not for you to take on. And when you take it on, you're hindering your own self. And you don't want to get it to the point where people start entering your life to force you not to take it on. So by stopping and looking and saying, literally, what does this have to offer me? What am I supposed to get from this? You'll move through it like very quickly. And where you're headed, I've already been in the last couple of years. So I can tell you this, take a deep breath. It's hard work, but it's you're going to be freer at the end than you could ever possibly imagine yourself being.
Yeah, it all makes sense. I'm in that process now. So everything you said resonates and it's already happening in my life. So it makes complete sense.
And try not to resist it. Try to go towards it. Try to just allow it to come and go. Don't try to push it away because it's not going to go away. It's going to get worse. So, you know, just remember, I always tell myself going through this, this is what I chose for myself, even if I don't understand it. And if I resist it, it's just going to be that much harder. So I'm just going to accept it. And if I feel this way, I'm going to let myself feel this way. You know, and if I'm having this thought, I'm just going to let myself having this thought instead of trying to figure out where it comes from, because it doesn't matter where it comes from.
Right.
Your thoughts, your mind is not your soul.
And your friend.
Right. Okay. Harmony, thank you so much for being a part of us today. We are so honored that you're our first guest on season 5. And you know, that card, that black card called Nothingness, means that discipline is absolutely your best friend right now, but it's discipline of what serves you, not everybody else. One more thing I want to say is something that Tammie told me years ago, and I never forgot it. If there's something you don't want to do, you don't have to explain yourself. Just don't do it.
Yeah, love that.
The flip of that is true too. If there's something you want to do, try not to rationalize it. Just do it. Right? Just see what I'm saying? So, because that is your intuition. That is your spirit guiding you. If your spirit says, no, I don't want to do it. You don't even have to explain to yourself why you don't want to do it. And don't explain to the person that wants you to do whatever it is. Just don't do it. So there you go. All right. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you guys.
All right, you guys, this is our first episode, season 5. I want to thank John at WWDBTV for making this possible here on his station. I want to thank Tammie and Kris and all of you for tuning in. I want to also remind you that VegasAstrology.com is Kris's monthly forecast for all your astrology signs. So if you go to WWW.VegasAstrology.com, Right now, you can read about your own astrological sign, and we would love for you to do that. Again, stay tuned for the next program, and until then, be well. The cast members of Three are not professional attorneys, CPAs, psychologists, marriage counselors, physicians, or financial advisors. You are provided with opinions that are unique to each of the intuitive performers. Three is presented to you for your entertainment.